You're listening to the Real Longevity Podcast, your number one podcast resource for living a longer life. Here we discuss topics on personal fitness, longevity, and real lasting elevation of mind, body, and spirit. Join us as we build a community of healthy men and women enjoying lasting levels of real health and vitality. If you're currently feeling frustrated with pain, flat, or fed up with aging faster than you actually are, you're invited to join us each and every week here on the Real Longevity Podcast. Welcome to the Real Longevity family and get ready to live a life you truly love. Welcome back to the Real Longevity Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Hendricks, and today we have another outstanding, informative, and elevating show for you. I'd like to welcome all first-time listeners to the podcast, and be sure to stay to the end of the show where I will be sharing all my social media links where you can connect with me and the Real Longevity podcast community. Wonderful to have you here again with me. Really appreciate you lending your ear. I have something insightful and uplifting I am sure you'll find today, so stay tuned. And as I mentioned, if you stay to the end of the show, I'll be making sure that you have all my contact details where you can connect with me and the Real Longevity podcast. So what we're talking about today is something that is often a challenge for many people to get their head around when it comes to starting their journey on rejuvenation, building up their fitness, building up their confidence. We're not talking about quick fixes. We're not talking about magic pills. We're talking about something that determines whether you're spending your later years in life playing with your grandchildren in a healthy, independent and full way, or watching them just grow up and not really getting involved. And we're talking about taking personal responsibility. For a lot of people, when it comes to their fitness and their well-being and health, they've almost been programmed to pass the buck. It's someone else's issue. They go to the doctor. They expect the doctor to sort it out for them. They have a health issue. They expect someone else to sort it out for them. They're not being adult, for want of a better term, and taking personal responsibility when it comes to their health. So this is what we're talking about today now. It's time to stop asking other people. It's time to stop waiting for someone else. It's time for you to reclaim your health and get back in the driver's seat when it comes to going on this journey of improving your fitness and your well-being. Now, what am I talking about when I'm referring to taking personal responsibility? It's important that before we dive in to talking about the importance of taking responsibility back, we understand what I'm referring to when I'm saying take responsibility. So in the world of health, we're talking about personal responsibility. We're not blaming anyone. We're talking about you empowering yourself, you owning the power to change where you are right now. So you may not be happy with your current status of health. You may not be currently happy with your fitness and your well-being and your physical capacity. But personal responsibility is about you taking ownership of that and saying, do you know what? I'm not happy, but before I blame and say I can't do this or I should be doing this, let me take ownership of this situation. It's that radical realization that you are the primary stakeholder, basically. You are the one. No one is coming over the hill to save you. There's no knight in shining armor. I can't get my words out. It's not you. It's not your doctor. It's not your personal trainer. It's certainly not the food industry. It's trying to sell you all these magic lotions and potions and pills. It's down to you. You have to take personal responsibility and stop being a passenger and start being the pilot. Start using words like I can and I will. If you don't take it seriously, you're going to have some problems short term, medium term, and long term. So this is what we're talking about today. We want you to stop the suffering. And today's podcast is named Take Responsibility Seriously or Suffer. Take responsibility seriously or suffer. Now, we're going to give you some solutions so you don't have to suffer, which is, what I love to do, help you, give you some options, give you an ability to raise your awareness. So moving forward, you can start taking action that's suitable for where you are right now. So we need to have a wake-up call saying, if I'm not happy with my health and fitness right now, it's not down to anyone else. It's not down to this person. It's not down to that person. It's down to myself. You don't have to suffer, and especially suffer in silence. You don't want to be that person that's suffering with that decreased mobility, that cognitive decline, that looking older than you actually are. I'm going to help you out by giving you some action steps of certain things that you can do to reclaim and get back to taking responsibility. Now, it's one of the first things that we talk about, one of the components that we speak about when I'm coaching my clients on the 90-day Real Rejuvenation program. And if that's something that you want to get involved with, again, I'll leave some details in the show note where you can find out more. So it's helping the client to understand. And when I say understand, truly understand what it is, why personal responsibility is about being an adult, taking ownership of yourself, and looking to make the steps that you can, where you are right now, to take full control and reach your true potential of your health. All right, so let's dive in. So remember, we're talking about take responsibility or seriously suffer. Take responsibility seriously or you will suffer. And we're going to give you some action points that you can do to take yourself and your personal responsibility back when it comes to your fitness and health and your well-being. So the 3 steps that we're going to share with you now to rejuvenate your health. Step number 1 is be accountable. Step number 1, be accountable. So when we're talking about accountability, it's that bridge between having a wish or a desire and actually achieving an outcome or an objective or a result. So this means it's a way of actually measuring or assessing or monitoring what it is that you're doing, having accountability. So looking at your own personal situation, looking at where you are right now, and being brutally honest with yourself. Now, it's one of the benefits that working with a coach can offer is that they will have you, if you like, look in the mirror and be truthful with yourself. Stop any sort of BS that you might be dealing with at the moment and say, what is it that's really stopping you from moving forward to your ideal reality? And we'll look at that in detail. There are many things, some of which for a lot of clients they're ignorant to or blind to. So working with a coach can really help them understand why is it that they've not been taking action? Why is it that they've not reached their true health and well-being potential? So having someone to hold you accountable is really, really important. That can really help you to achieve that moving forward. So one of the things that you can do in terms of steps is take the mirror test. And when we talk about the mirror test, ask yourself these questions. Are you doing the right things when it comes to your diet? Okay, eating cleaner foods or healthier foods. Be honest with yourself. Use that truth to guide you. Often we can kind of kid ourselves sometimes, but when someone's holding you accountable, yourself or a coach, you have to be brutally honest. So look yourself in the mirror and say, have I been doing my best? Have I been doing everything that I can do when it comes to keeping myself accountable, taking the steps that I need to when it comes to moving forward, improving my fitness and my well-being, my health? Have I been doing everything? Own the outcome. That's the second thing I want you to consider when it comes to being accountable. Can you say to yourself, whether I pass this test or whether I fail this test, I'm going to own it? Now, the good news is by listening to this podcast, listening to the insights I'm sharing with you, you can hopefully maximize or at least increase the significant chance of you achieving your goals and achieving your outcome, and say to yourself, I'm going to take ownership. So whether I'm doing things or whether I'm not doing things, I'm taking ownership. I'm not blaming. I'm keeping myself accountable. So if you're supposed to be doing a workout for any particular day and you miss it for whatever reason, own that. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Be understanding. Show yourself empathy. but own that. Don't blame anyone else. Don't say it's the rain's fault or it's the dog's fault. Just be honest with yourself. And these are setting yourself standards by taking accountability and also owning whether you're doing something right or whether you've done something good. Celebrate when you've done something right. You've made a step, you've taken action, you've completed a specific task, but also when things don't go according to plan, take ownership as well. So that's number one. Be accountable. Use a coach, take an honest assessment of where you are, and own the outcome. Okay, step number two. You've heard me say this often, but it's be consistent. We've all been told when it comes to our fitness and well-being that it's all about working hard and working about a level that's highly intense. Yeah, we've seen the workouts, we've seen these Instagram reels of all these different influencers telling us what we need to do. But my golden rule when it comes to achieving your goals, it's not about intensity, it's about consistency. Consistency wins a race. Say it with me. Consistency wins a race. Consistency wins a race. When it comes to rejuvenating your health, it isn't about those 3-day juice cleanses, or it's not about those 5-day, 2-day off fasts. It's not about doing the high rocks workouts or the CrossFit or the reformer Pilates. All these things are good, and all these things can serve you when done in the right modality, but it's about consistency 365 days of the year. You've often heard me say, if you can apply the 80-20 rule, and that means if you're doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing, which include consistent exercise with a range of different focuses, including flexibility, stability, core strength, and cardiovascular health, your lifestyle is congruent in the sense that you're managing your stress well, you're getting out in nature, you have purpose, and also you're resting and recuperating and sleeping well. You're doing that 80% of the time. There's no harm in 20% of the time going off piece, so to speak. Yeah, doing the things or maybe eating the foods that maybe we could categorize as not being ideal. But for the majority of people, it's the other way around, isn't it? You see them doing all the wrong things, and then maybe 10, 15, 20% of the time they might start or embark upon a course of action to invest time in the fitness and the well-being. But I'm asking you to consider, is that something that you're doing? And if so, can you change it around? It's not being about perfection. It's not being about perfect. We talk about being progressive and being present and saying, right, where am I now? What can I do at this moment in time with the time I have to progress my fitness and well-being forward? I tell you that time when I was, and I've shared this story before, when I was writing my second book. And the second book that I was writing after I'd written my first one, I enlisted the help of an editor and a publisher. And the difference was that I was being consistent. When I wrote the first book, I'd kind of do it when I want. But because I was paying someone to keep me honest and keep me accountable, I was consistent, doing 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, 1,000 words, 2,000 words, consistently each week. And before you know it, the book was finished. So I committed to being consistent. Someone was holding me accountable, saying, can you get this done by this time? And I had to do it. So the key thing here is being consistent and just building up over time. See, almost like a game of added interest. You're placing deposits into your account on a weekly, monthly basis. And over time, like a bank, if you're putting that money in or putting money aside, even if you're not factoring in interest, your money's going to grow. Putting £20 in, £40 in, that's going to grow and grow. And it's the same with your fitness and your well-being. Being consistent when it comes to taking responsibility, and you will see your fitness and well-being increase quite significantly. So what we're talking about today, we're talking about take responsibility seriously or suffer. 3 steps to rejuvenate your health. Take responsibility seriously or suffer. 3 steps to rejuvenate your health moving forward. So the third step that we're talking about today is have fun as you get fit. Now, for a lot of the time, when it comes to fitness and when it comes to improving our well-being, there's no real focus on fun. It's all very serious, all very almost regimented in the way that we're encouraged to do things. But I'm asking you to explore the option of having a little bit more fun and freedom when it comes to getting yourself healthy, fit, and well. We've all heard the mantras, no pain, no gain, but the reality is, if you're someone who's not really inclined to seek pain or seek discomfort, or you hate being in the gym environment, or you hate being in an environment that's you're not used to when it comes to exercising or challenging your body, the reality is you're going to default to type and you're not going to do it. So in order to really rejuvenate your health, you have to find a modality of fitness and well-being and exercise or activity that you enjoy. And the way we can do that is find something that we enjoy, something that we find fun. So I often like to use the word moving your body and exercising your body in a way that's fun and free, because when we're doing something that's fun and free, we're more likely to stick at it, as opposed to if it's something that's paid and it's something that's we have to endure, the likelihood is that we're not going to stick to it. So if something like, I don't know, say the treadmill is not your bag, that's something that you don't want to do, or you don't like to go to the gym to lift weights or do resistance exercises, try something different. You don't have to torture yourself mentally and physically. It could be doing something like dancing. It could be doing like aqua aerobics. It could be going out like I'd like to do, going out for walks in nature. As long as you're complementing that with some other modalities of exercise as well, you're going to be doing the right thing. Fitness should be almost like a celebration, of what your body can do. But you have to find your thing. It could be dancing, it could be green balls, it could be aqua aerobics, it could be Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Excuse me. Does it really matter, as long as you're challenging your body in a way that's going to benefit your body and it's something that you enjoy? Because when it is something that you enjoy, you're going to find time to do it effortlessly. There's not going to be any resistance there. There's always going to be a way to find time to fit that in, and you're going to be doing it in a way that you enjoy it, and you're going to be consistent with it, and being consistent with it is going to be the key to achieving your goals. So there are your 3 steps that I'm referring to. Have fun as you get fit. Number 3. Second, we spoke about being consistent, and the first thing we mentioned is about be accountable. Taking those 3 steps, I am confident that you're going to see yourself reclaim that responsibility, or you're going to suffer. But you've listened to the podcast today, you've listened to the 3 steps, and you're now going to stop any kind of suffering or reduce the risk of your suffering and not taking responsibility when it comes to your health. So think about it. How can you be accountable? How can you become consistent when it comes to achieving your fitness and well-being goals and objectives? And how can you have fun when it comes to physical activities that's going to help to improve your fitness and well-being? Now, if you are ready to stop making excuses and start making progress, I'm here to remind you that you don't have to do it alone. And this is one of the reasons why I always encourage listeners to join the Real Longevity Podcast community. Surround yourself with people who take their longevity as serious as you're doing now. Sharing wins, sharing struggles, sharing the science, sharing experiences that help each other move forward. Now, if that sounds like something you want to get involved in, I'm going to leave the details in the show notes where you can connect with me. I'm going to help you as you start making changes and start looking to make investments now so you can live a long, prosperous, vital, energized life. If you want to connect with me, you can find me on all the usual social media platforms. On Instagram, just look for the Holistic Coach Mike and you'll find me there. You can also find me on my second Instagram page, which is Built Fit Mike 44. or Built Fit for Life 44. You can find me on Facebook, Mike Bobby Hendricks. Find me on LinkedIn, I'm Mike Hendricks. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is the Holistic Coach Mike on YouTube as well. You get fresh content uploaded there, so you can check us out on YouTube as well. So that is it for today's episode. What are your thoughts? Are you now going to reclaim responsibility, take back responsibility, and stop suffering? Going to follow those 3 steps? I'm curious to hear what you are going to do. So reach out to me, connect with me, all the links I've shared with you, join our community. We'd love to have you with us in the Real Longevity podcast community. All right, so that is it for today. I trust you found today's episode insightful and uplifting. Remember, we'll be back next time with some more uplifting and insightful information. But until then, remember, be well, be wise, be cool, be calm, and keep it real. Blessings and chi. It is done. Peace.